Horrible day, tragedy strikes. Christy, the Francis Scott Key Bridge, is that correct? The right name?
Yes, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I woke up to this and it was everywhere. Sis, what's the info you have right now? Of course, it's a developing story. There's conspiracies and much more. Sis, what's happening with this situation?
So it it was hit by a 948-foot dolly container ship. And when you think of container ships, it's like the great big like metal looking pods that you see that float up and down like on
Yeah.
barges and things like that. Um, I guess that it hit one of the help me, what's the word I'm looking for?
One of the, I don't know.
Stabilization, like
Okay. Yeah, I
stabilization
wouldn't have known that.
things for, yeah, for the bridge, and caused it to collapse. And then it said that Bronner Builders Incorporated said that there had been a construction crew on the bridge that had been fixing potholes, and there were 8 construction workers that plunged into the river below, and that 2 were rescued, but it is now presumed, because the waters are so frigid and cold, that the other 6 perished. um
Oh man, in the cold water?
yeah, yeah. um they it just
Wow,
When I
sis.
saw the video, I didn't sleep very well last night. So, and I was up reading a lot of stuff on breaking stories that we'll cover. But um, whenever I saw the video footage of this bridge collapse, number one, it was just weird to me that this video caught the whole thing. I mean, it shows like the whole collapse of this bridge. And then I guess, that everybody was just really fortunate, that a mayday call and
Mm-hmm.
the collapse of the Key Bridge were enabled officials to stop any flow of traffic. So, like, no cars. There, we have a Skyway Bridge here in Florida that is massive. Cruise ships go underneath it, and it was hit in 1980 and collapsed. And they rebuilt a new one, but there wasn't the same technology then, and all kinds of cars plummeted off of it, and there were many lives lost and things like that. So, so sorry that anybody perished in this, but it was a good thing that they were able to stop the flow of traffic.
Yeah, I have the video put up right here. I'll try to zoom in on it. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the time lapse footage. Okay, here it is, y'all. This is the 8 uh zoomed up, I mean sped up 8 times on the speed. And there it is. Now, what are the conspiracies, sis? Because what is it, y'all? Are we just trusting of anybody or anything nowadays? But the conspiracies have hit the internet. I don't know what to tell you. You know, people. I post stuff on the pages, y'all, and I try to keep my bias limited on certain subjects, especially like this. But I don't know what to tell you, y'all. Is this stuff? I don't know. I gotta be careful. I'm on YouTube, but this thing turns. Of course, this is sped up, and it goes straight towards that. What is it, stabilizer? You said, sis?
Yeah, it's like I can't remember the exact name of it. I read it
It's
earlier,
basically the
but
main
it is.
support, the main support system
The
there.
support. That's what I meant. So yeah, that's it. Yep, like it's a
But
support beam.
it just hits it right there and just
It
goes
says
straight
that
down.
the
Damn.
Yeah, it says that the Dolly is a post Panamax vessel, and it's 985 feet long. It's longer than 4 Boeing 747s lined up
Whoa.
nose to tail. Yeah, so I mean, it's a massive ship. Nino, I wanted to say about the conspiratorial stuff. I think we are conspiratorial at heart, just because of everything that we've seen happen, and that we continue to see happening, and things like that. But sometimes accidents just also happen.
But
Um, who know? I mean, are we ever gonna know? I mean,
I I don't know because someone commented and made a lot of sense. Said that this is a major. I mean, it's fact. It's a major area where they just they have a port here, and it's just a lot of commerce happens here, right? And they said that they've passed over this bridge thousands of times, and for this to happen, they think that this was intentional. I mean, sis, how many times do these boats and barges pass right under under this bridge in particular? Like That's why I'm saying,
I
like,
know.
was it really an accident? I mean, because, and again, I'm not saying that it was or wasn't. I'm just, questioning uh the validity of, which we don't even know what did they even said. It barely hit today, y'all. Give us some time to report. uh I hate to say it, but they tell us. I'm not on the ground there. Think about the media, y'all. People tell us what they want us to know.
Absolutely.
So we got to
Absolutely.
go off what they tell us, y'all. We're not, part of the certain, you know, groups that they push, too much conspiracy. We are conspiratorial by nature, with the content we push, but we realize that we got to be very, you know, what's
Sensitive. Yeah.
no, not just that. We got to be very protective, and we got to be very smart. And God has given us this platform, so we got to be very. What's the word I'm looking for, sis? We have to be very. I don't even know the word, but we got to be very
Mind.
mindful. Yeah, that's a good one.
Hmm.
Mindful of the content we put out there, y'all. We don't want to be pushing false narratives or anything. But again, like I said, how many times has this barge done this maneuver? Again, they say the power went out. Some people are saying a Ukrainian was the pilot here, or the sailor, or what do you call him, son? My bad, y'all. I'm a trucker, not
Captain.
the captain,
Captain.
right? So there's
Yeah.
there's those reports. But the point is, y'all, I don't know. It's just weird that we live in a day and age where everything's recorded. We can factor that in, that, hey, nowadays we see a lot more stuff than we used to see. But let us know in the comments, y'all, what y'all think. We support free speech and free thought, even though sometimes the social media overlords might not like that. Let us know what you think in the comments. But again, this is a horrible situation. Lives
It
lost.
is.
I mean, this is crazy. And I just think that the thing that makes me kind of question it is that this is just normal everyday activity, and something just messes up. I'm from the oil field. I'm gonna tell you something right now. There's always someone to blame. When you're in the oil field, usually the trucker gets the blame, and usually
Yeah.
it's the trucker's fault, the driver, right? Because even if it's something that the trucker somehow, wasn't that big of a deal, but it turned into a bigger deal, the trucker should know better. They should get sleep. They should, have the right routing, the right directions. I don't know, what tank you're gonna pull from. Like I said, it always ends up being the driver's fault somehow. And sometimes we get complacent, me as a truck driver, and that's usually when things happen. When you get used to day-to-day operations, you do this 1,000 times, and that one time you let your guard down, stuff happens. So is that what happened here? Is there something more nefarious? Sis, your thoughts on that before we move on?
I just think that it has to be looked at from both angles. I mean, that's
True.
what critical thinking is looking at it from both angles. My one the conspiratorial part of me is, whenever you read about what a major impact this has on
Big
chain and
time.
supply,
Yeah, I got that right here.
and yeah, yep, and that, um we look at how many times we've been told to stock up on food, stock up on water, that, all these things, and living through the hurricane, um made me pretty much prepared for anything, and so we should always have those things ready to go and stuff like that. But it's going to be a long rebuild for this bridge.
Oh,
It
big
said that it was
time.
one of
Yeah.
them. It said that bridge had been there longer than most of us have been alive.
What?
And yeah, yeah, it was considered one of America's biggest infrastructures. And so
Wow. Sis, and go ahead. Sorry.
it just said this is one of the cathedrals of American infrastructure. It has been part of the skyline of this region for longer than many of us have been alive. Um, that the path to normalcy is not going to be easy, and that it's going to cause a huge disruption in chain supply demands. And I'm
I
sure
believe
it
it.
will.
I believe
Yeah.
it.
I mean, me too. Absolutely.
And I got the picture up here, y'all. It breaks down basically. Man, my whole thing's all messed up. It breaks down exactly how it collapsed. It got like a timeline. Check it out on the Facebook page. It shows the port, shows the cargo, the timeline, the water temperature, y'all. 48 degrees.
Hmm. And that's not sustainable very long at all. I can't remember what I read. 15 minutes would be about tops, and before you started hitting like hypothermic levels, I believe is what I read. Um, and I would like to go back and look at the Skyway Bridge in the Pinellas, Tampa area whenever it collapsed in 1980 by a container ship, also, and see if there's any likeness or compare like the accident.
Yeah, it says Baltimore's bridge. That's what I said earlier. Baltimore, right, of all places. Baltimore's
Hmm. Yeah.
bridges $81 billion trade crisis. Ship crash sparks chaos for U.S. goods. Damn, as collapse blocks ninth largest hub. It's the ninth largest hub for foreign goods that handles 52 million tons a year with 10 vessels stuck in
Wow.
harbor. Yeah, so some people getting their Team U or their what's the stuff from China or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Expect delays, y'all. And I think I saw Joe Biden, y'all. I'm not trying to get political, but I think he said that the government's gonna pay for all this. I mean, what kind of
Hmm.
statement is that? I mean, anyways,
I
uh,
just, I read that too, and I immediately went into a rage just because of the promises that him and DeSantis shoulder to shoulder made for us in Florida. They still
we
have
can't trust them.
nope, still have neighbors with tarps on the roof, and hurricane season's ramping up on us again. But yeah, I don't definitely don't trust anything that comes out of his mouth.
I don't trust any politician, and I'll just be honest.
Nope,
So with that, y'all,
nope,
let us know
that's
what
true.
you let us know what you think in the comments, y'all. Is this something to keep an eye on as far as uh, who did it? Are we gonna find out? Is this just another or a horrible tragedy that just happened once in? I mean, how many years has this thing been up, right? And it happens all of a sudden. I digress. But like I said, y'all, let us. Sorry, messing up. Let us know what you think in the comments, y'all. Thank you for watching, and we're out of here.